Okay. Yeah. So in the previous session, we have seen, I mean, we have a discussion, a nice discussion about the data types and all. And yeah, so we have gone through the strings data type and how the methods are present in the strings and all. We have gone through it, right? Okay. So now we'll jump into the list one. List. So the third data type, the first numerical is fine. Numerical is nothing. Like you add the float numbers or the decimal numbers or normal numbers. You do any operation to it, no? Like multiplication, addition, subtraction, division, anything, right? So numerical numbers are very easy. And yeah, so strings, we have seen strings like we understood how to create a string. We have seen multiple ways to create a string in Python, and we have seen so many methods of strings, like how the methods are used in Python. Like built-in methods are already available in Python, so mostly we need to use them only instead of writing the logic and all. No, it's always good if there is any built-in method, I use it. Like for the like it doesn't take so much of time, right? Because while writing the logic and all, you need to brainstorm yourself, and it will take some time. Yeah. So if the built-in function is not available, then yeah, definitely you need to write your own logic. Like for example, every project has got its own requirement. You need to understand the requirement and understand the logic behind that requirement, and you need to develop the program. Like you need to create some set of instructions to the machine to achieve the goals in that particular project. Yeah. So yeah, we have gone through our strings in Python. So many people are still joining. Okay. Yeah. Guys, please join before 6:05, na? So it's always good. Like we are waiting for 10 more. We are waiting 10 minutes, right? So instead of that, join before 6:05 only, everyone. Okay. So Python includes several built-in container types. Yeah. So whatever the containers or something where it can hold something, right? Like it's a combination. It can hold anything like numericals and strings. So that's why these are called as containers. Okay. So in this, we have lists, we have dictionaries, we have sets, and we have tuples. Okay. Sets we haven't discussed. Yeah, we'll discuss at the end of this PPT. Yeah. So introducing lists. Okay. So yeah, so in the previous sessions, we have discussed about the importance of lists and how the lists are created and in what ways lists can be created and all, right? So here we'll do a lot of I mean we are going to take deep dive into this list, so we will understand like how methods are being used in the list likewise. Okay, so slowly we'll go, like the indexing, slicing, and everything will be there in this PPT. Slowly, step by step, we'll go and we'll close the data type list. Okay, so Python list. So a sequence is an object that holds multiple items of data. Multiple items of data. So previously, inside a string, we used to store only one data type, that is string, and it has multiple characters present in it. But here you're storing multiple items. That means multiple elements. Okay, it's a collection of elements. I was telling you that, right? The array or the list, the definition for that is it's a collection of elements, right? In a comma separated way. Yeah. So a sequence is an object that holds multiple items of data stored one after the other. Yeah. So one after the other we store it, right? Suppose take a variable a is equals to, in order to start any list, we start with square brackets. After starting with the square brackets and all, we'll try to include some items into the list. Like for example, like 1 comma 2 comma 3, these are the items present in that list, and each item is separated by comma, right? You can perform operations on a sequence to examine, manipulate the items stored in it. Yeah, so already we have done some slicing part, we have done some manipulation to the entire list. In the same way, there are multiple methods out there for lists, where you can manipulate it. Like if you want to remove some items present in the list, you can remove it, or if you want to add some items into the list, we can add it. Okay, we will check like how to add anything into a list. If you want to add a new item into the list, how you are going to add it? Okay, let's go. Okay, I'll take a list. Okay, 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma. So there's a simple list which we are taking in ongoing classes. Now the list will be like a little bit of complex thing, because matrices will be involved at that time. So multi-dimensional arrays and all will come across. But as of now, we'll discuss only about small lists and all. Okay. Okay, yeah. So a is equals to 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma Rajesh. So this is a list now. If I want to add, okay, first we'll print out this list. Okay, if I want to add something into this list, so I'll use methods again. So same like strings. For the strings, we have used the split method or the uppercase. Each method has got its own functionality. In the same way, in order to append, add a new item into the list or something, we use a method with the name called append. Append. So a dot append, same thing. What do you want to append? Like, what is a new element you want to append? Let's say I want to append a string with the name Naveen into the list. Yeah. So this is the old list, right? Yeah. So this is the old list, and here comes the new list. Let's see. See, in the old list we have 1, 2, 3 and Rajesh, and in the new list we have 1, 2, 3 Rajesh and Naveen. That means we are appending one item, like a new item has been appended into that list. Likewise, if you want to append another item, you can simply give anything. Like we'll go with numbers now. Okay. See, suppose what happens if you append a list instance like items, a list of items like this 1, okay, we'll use 1.5, 2.5. Okay, so I'm appending now into the list here. I'm appending a list, entire list, completely different list with the values 1.5, 2.5. Let us check. See, so now a list is generated with these new items, and another list is present inside the same list. Right? That means we are adding a list inside a list. So you can add like list inside a list or anything like what are the data types we have seen so far? List, strings, and numericals, right? So you can add lists inside a list here. Like if there is any requirement to add an extra list inside your list, then definitely you should add like this only. Remember that. And yeah, we'll go with the PPT. Okay. So Python list. A list is an object that contains multiple data items. Yeah. So this thing you have already seen it. Contains multiple data items is we have included numericals, the numbers, and we have included strings as well, and we have included a list as well. See, multiple data items, you can store it inside a list. Okay. Lists are mutable, which means that their contents can be changed during a program's execution. Yeah. So as I already told you, that lists are mutable objects. That means the updation, if you want to update any element based upon the index, definitely we can update it. Right? I've shown you that example as well. Let us see that one more time, and yeah, we'll proceed further. Okay, we'll take a list, same 1, 2, 3. Right? And if I want to update something, like suppose if I want to update index 1, that means the value 2, I want to update it to like 55.5. And if I print a, see, the index 1, that means the second position in the list, which is the value 2, has been replaced by, which is 55.5. Yeah, so that's how we can update items present inside a list, and the item assignment
Sir,
is properly. Sorry.
sir, how it came, sir? I wanted to know. I didn't get it, ma'am, sir.
Okay, see, so the 1, 2, 3, and Rajesh are the items present inside a list, right? So I've talked about indexing. Do you remember about indexing?
Yes, sir.
So in indexing, what happens is, each element, whenever the start of the element starts with the index 0. So 0 index is mapped with the value 1. 1 index is mapped with the value 2. 2 index is mapped with the value 3. The 3 index is mapped with the value Rajesh here, right? So now I want to replace this 2. I want to update this element. Okay. In order to update this element, I'll take this index position of 2, that is 1, a of 1, a of 1. See, if I print a of 1, I'll show you. If I print a of 1, see, so we got the value 2. That means, yeah, so the index 1 is mapped with this value 2. Now, if I want to change it, I'll just simply rewrite it. So here rewriting is done. Are you getting it? So the 2 has been rewritten by the value 55.5. So that's how it is done. Did you get it now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the indexing is very important because based upon index positions only you can change the values. So understand about indexing. Understand about the indexing more properly so that you will not have confusion on how to update the things inside a list. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So here we'll see. So lists are dynamic data structures, meaning the items may be added to them or removed from them. Yeah. So we have seen a method called append where you are adding it. Right. If I want to remove something, like if I want to remove some element present inside a list, simply I'll type a dot remove what I want to remove. I want to remove Rajesh. I'll give the element name now, not the indexing. We need to give the element name in order to remove an item present inside the list. See, so the first, okay, so we'll print the statements so that everyone will understand properly. So whole list, okay, after removing, yeah. See, so old list is 1 comma 2 comma 3 and Rajesh after removing 1 2 3. So Python is that simple, guys. See, so I've used only a keyword called remove. The built-in function, built-in method, whatever it is, I've used remove and I've used append to append the elements. I've used remove to remove the elements present inside the list. That's it. So that's why lists are called as dynamic data structures. Lists are dynamic data structures. That means you can add an item into the list as well as you can remove the item which you don't want from the list. Okay. You can use indexing, slicing, and various methods to work with lists in a program. Yeah. So we have already seen indexing, we've already seen slicing, and yeah, various methods in the sense like the methods, the append method, remove method with the list in a program. Yeah, we have already seen it. So everyone are clear with the indexing and slicing, right? No doubts in indexing and slicing, I suppose.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. So just go through this PPT. There's nothing like I have given one example. You just go through it, okay? And yeah, so lists are most versatile of Python's compound data types. Yeah, so we use lists very often actually. So because lists act like an array, right? In other programming languages, we use arrays in Java, .NET, or C language. Yeah. So in the same, lists we use lists a lot. Not only lists, we use dictionaries also a lot. Yeah. So it depends again on the project. A list contains items separated by commas and enclosed with square brackets. Yeah, so that's how you create a list. Okay, for creating an empty list. So previously we have seen how to create a empty string, right? Empty string to create empty string and all. Now, if I want to create an empty list, this is a syntax for it. So print A. See, the items present in the list are 0 and it is empty. That's why it is showing me the empty list. Right? Yeah. So not only like this, you can create an empty list in this way as well. List parenthesis. See, so this is one more way. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. One difference between them is that all the items belonging to a list can be of different data type. Yeah, that's true, right? So we have included lists inside a list. We have included strings inside a list. We have included numericals, the numbers inside a list. So that means different data types also you can integrate them. Like you can include them into a list. So those things are done very smoothly. Yeah, the values stored in a list can be accessed using the slice operator. The colon operator with indexes starting at 0 in the beginning of a list and working their way to and negative indexing. So if you start with negative indexing, then you'll get the last element. From the last element, you'll get to the front. If you start with positive indexing from 0, then from first to the end you'll go. Yeah, the plus sign is the list concatenation operator. Suppose what happens if I'll take two lists and I'll add them up by using plus operator. Okay. Okay. If I use print a plus b, this is called as list concatenation. Okay. So let us see what happens. See, list concatenation. It has created a new list where you have joined up those. You joined up the two lists which you have created, like 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. So Yeah, so that's how the concatenation is done inside a list by using a plus operator. Okay, asterisk is a repetition operator. Same way. So for the string, we have multiplied by 3 in the sense Rajesh, Rajesh, Rajesh. We have got it in the previous class. That was the output there. Now, if I want to like, okay, list repetition. I guess that's the spelling. Yeah, comma a into 3. See, so 3 times you have repeated the list and everything got concatenated so properly. So again, it depends upon the requirement. If you want to concatenate like by multiplying the things, you can do it. If you don't want it, don't do it. I'm just showing you so many like examples with the list, whatever we can do now. I'm just showing you that. Okay. So here I have given few examples actually. So list is created by placing all the items or elements inside a square bracket separated by commas. Yeah, that's the final definition for the list. You can perform operations on a sequence to examine and manipulate the item stored in it. Yeah, this thing we already discussed. Yeah, to create an empty list, this is the this is the syntax. My list is equals to two square. I mean the square brackets open and close. That's it. Okay. So this is the syntax for creating the list, and you can list with mixed data types. I have already seen it, and a nested list. That means a list inside a list, which you have already created it. Okay. For example, let us take same kind of example, and I'll show you. A is okay. We'll type A is equals to 1, 2, 3, and here again I'm giving 1, 2, 3, and here I'm giving Hyse data science. Yeah. Append A. See, so we have this is called as nested list. That means the list inside a list. You know how n number of lists you can integrate with the list present in. Okay, like you can use n number of lists. You can include n number of lists into an original list. That's not a problem. Okay, so Python list. Creating an empty list can be done in this way also. This I have already shown you, and you can create a list in this manner also. Like use the list keyword, and yeah. So 1, 2, 3. If you use it, so print A. Yeah. So that's how it is done. Okay. So range function. Range again. Range is a method, you know, where range is something where it creates that number of numbers which are bounded from the initial point to the end point. So here, see, range 2, 10 is 2 is the starting point and 10 is the end point. So till there, now it creates the numbers. Let us see how does it create. Like we'll execute this output and then we'll see like how the range function is used. Okay, I'll take it. We'll use list range of 2, 15 or something kind of. See, this creates a range, but yeah, we need a loop or something, you know, to create numbers and append that to it. But yeah, it creates a range of numbers there directly. Create a list with elements 2, 3, 4, and so on. Okay. Okay, we'll use this syntax. That means the square brackets, whatever we're using it now. So we'll use this syntax to work on, and then we'll see what's the output. Now with this now it creates numbers. See, with this syntax it creates numbers. With that syntax now it holds that, like there's a range of numbers right there. If you use for loop or something to it and you do the sequential operations out there, automatically you'll get all the numbers. Yeah, but with this syntax now automatically it generates the numbers and it shows you as the output, like 2, 15, like till from 2. Yeah, in Python I told you that the last number will be excluded and it considers till 2 to 14, and the 15 will be excluded there. That's why it has created a list with the numbers from 2 to 14. Yeah, that's how the range function is used. Yeah, range function is used very much like in the real time, you know. So people come across this range function. Whenever you have this for loop and all, na, people most probably use this range function only. Okay, I'll tell you when the for loop starts and all how to use the range function there. I'll tell you that. Okay, creating a list with characters. Yeah, you can create a list with characters like one red, you know, that creates a list. Actually, you just give it a try, guys. I've shared the PPT in the group. You just give it a try. All the examples, you know, like one by one you just try to execute it and try to understand what the output is and understand the entire flow. Okay. Yeah. So length keyword is used to identify the elements, how many elements present inside that list. For example, let us consider this only. I'm copying it. I pasted it here. I'll zoom the screen so that everyone can see. Okay. If I use length of A, see, length of A is 3. That means there are 3 items present inside the list. So with the help of this length keyword, you can directly identify how many elements are there inside a list. Okay. Length keyword or the length module, whatever you call it. Okay. And yeah, so print the statements like this only, guys, and you'll understand like the importance of the concatenation and the formatting of string and everything. Like you'll understand it. Okay. Yeah. So max keyword. So max is used to identify the maximum, the highest number. Okay. If I use max of A, yeah, it gives me the value 3. Okay, you get confused with the length and max, right? I'll use 4. See, so the max, the out of all these, the maximum value is 4. What happens if I place a string inside it? See, it throws us an error because greater than is not supported between instances of string and int. You got it right. Greater than is something that is a symbol for max, so it's type error. So we can't whenever there is a string present inside the list now, you can't use this kind of module there, like the functionality there, the max functionality. Okay. Yeah, instead of that now, you need to first remove all the strings present inside the list, and then you go with the maximum if you want the maximum number out of it. Okay, I'll remove this. We'll do this. And if I use minimum of A, min of A, okay, so yeah, so the minimum value will get it from the whatever the minimum value is there inside the list now, we'll get that minimum value. So that is 1. So that's why we got the output as 1. And sum. So sum is something where if you use this sum functionality, it adds up all the elements present inside the list. Okay, let us see. I'll use sum. Yeah, see, 4 plus 3, 7 plus 2, 9, 9 plus 1 is 10. So that's the total sum. So you check like what happens if you add a string to it and use sum keyword. I mean the sum module, the function. So what happens to it? Some method actually, not module, or you can call it a sum method. Okay. So you just check it out. Like add a string to the list and use this sum method and try to identify whether it is throwing up some error or whether it is adding up the sum and the string. Kind of. You just try to identify that. Okay. And yeah. So 88 not in. Okay. For example, again we'll take one a string 55, 77, 44, 33, 22 or something. Yeah. So if I print A, yeah, 55, 74, 77, 44, and 22. Right. If you want to know whether an element is present inside that list or not. So for that, we'll use a syntax like 55 in A. See, it has written me the value true. That means 55 is present in A. Okay. 55 is present in A. Okay. So suppose we'll use a different number which is not present inside the list. We'll use like 74. Yeah, 74 is not present inside the list, right? So what happens if I give this? See, it has written me the value false. False is a Boolean expression where the true means yeah it is present, if false means it is not present. Okay, in the same way, in the opposite also you can do it. But not by using in. You can use not in. Not in. So if 74 not in A, yeah, the statement is right. So and then it returns the value true. See, 74 is not in A. The statement is right. That's why it is returning true. If 77 is not, if I type like 77 not in A, 77 is already present in the inside, is already present inside this list A. It returns the value false too. See, so you can use in
Sir,
and not in. Yeah.
sir, in this we can also use strings, sir.
In this, sorry.
Strings also can be used, sir.
Yeah, strings also can be used here. See, I'll show you. Right, typing the name Rajesh, and simply instead of 77, what I'll do is I'll use Rajesh here. See, true. So can you strings also anything? It's up to us.
Okay.
Okay, this is some kind of comparison kind of. It compares and it gives you the output. Getting the point, right? Rajesh, not comparison actually. So it just goes into that list and it identifies whether this thing is present inside the list or not, and then it gives you the output there.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, don't go with this like leave the slide 35 because we have not started while loop or for loops or if loops or something. So don't use that. Don't go with even this. Ignore this 36 slide as well. Ignore this 37 slide as well. Even this. Yeah. So here you just I've given the indexing these things actually. So indexing examples. So my list equal to PROBE. So if you want output as P, print my list of 0. Automatically gives the output P. So if you're using the float numbers or something like now instead of numbers and all, if you're using 4.0 or something, it throws you an error. So that's I have given an example here. You just go through it, and yeah. So try to complete this. I mean, complete all the commands whatever I'm given here. You just type the commands in the Jupyter notebook and understand what the output is.
Yes.
Negative indexing. Yeah, please. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So indexing negative indexing already we have discussed. You just go through it, and the index -1, yeah, same thing. You just go through these examples and try to yeah, you just use these examples and try to finish that. Lists are mutable, meaning their elements can be changed, unlike string or tuple. Yeah, so strings and tuples cannot be changed. Yeah, we have discussed this before. So inside the strings, you can't change the character with the indexing, and inside the tuple, you can't change the items by using indexing. So that's why. So lists are mutable, strings and tuples are immutable objects. Assignment operator can be used to change the items present inside the list. So see, I have given here examples again. So like how to change the first item, like change second and to fourth items, like by using colon, by using slicing also you can change the like from 2, 3, and 4. Whatever the items are there, you can change it. You can do that as well. So that's what like go through these examples, type it down in the Jupyter notebooks and try to understand. Okay. Again, we can add one item in a list using append method. Yeah, we have already seen this append method, and or add several items using extend method. Yeah. So if you want to add up like so many items, like append is used to add only single item. So what if I use extend? So previously, we have seen only append, like multiple times we have used append. What happens if I use a.extend here directly? Again, I want 55, 27, 88, and 99. Let us see the output. See, by using extend, you're simply adding up the list items and it is getting concatenated to the last items present inside that list. Okay. If you want to like combine more elements, like at a single shot, use extend method. If you don't want to do it now, use append only to append items into that list. Okay. Singles one by one. If you want to add one by one, use append. If you want to add multiple items, use extend. Yeah. Good. Yeah, same examples only. Just try this out. Same examples. Yeah. Insert one item at a desired location by using the method insert. Or insert multiple items by squeezing it to an empty slice of a list. Yeah, okay. So if you want to insert an item like in between the indexing and all, append, it adds up to the last item actually, right? So if you want to add up like in between, you use this insert. So insert one item at a desired location by using the method insert. Like we'll go through this example. Right. We'll create a list again. I'll create a list. Now we'll see 44, 42, 47, 49, 52. Yeah, that's sufficient. Yeah. See. So while using the insert, so use the insert value and followed by the index position to where you want to insert, and followed by the value. What is the value you want to insert in that index position? Okay, let us see. Suppose this index 0 has a value 44, index 1 has a value 42. In between 44 and 42, I want to include a number 43. So for that, I'll use ia dot insert 1 is the index position, and what the number which I want to insert. See. Okay, sorry. I'll have not executed this. We have not overwritten that string the list actually. So now the a value is overwritten by this list now. Now we'll try to use this. Yeah, done. So 44, 43, 42. See, for the insertion and all, you need to use the index position first, and then followed by the value to what you want to insert into that index position. Okay. At the time now, use insert. And I've given one more example here, like for multiple insertions of data, use the slicing operator, try to do it, and try to use this once, and you try to do it. Okay. If you're not getting it, I'll explain you. But yeah, try to do it. It would be good. It's always good if you explore. Okay. Yeah, it's very easy only. Try to do it. Okay.
Sir, what is the difference between insert and append, sir?
Okay, append is used to append elements, and the appending of elements is done at the last only of the list. Insert, now you can insert an item at an exact position wherever you want. Now you can insert an item there. Like if you want to insert it in between, you can't use append at that time. Okay, so you can use insert to add the element in between, like at the center. Right at the time, you'll use insert. If you don't want it, if you're not like following an order or something, that's okay. That's okay. If there is any order inside my list, that's okay for me. If you think like that, then use append. If you want a particular order or something, use insert. Clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Here I have given so many examples again. Like see how to delete or remove elements from a list. Okay. So you can delete by using delete also. You can try it out. Like previously I've shown you with remove, right? So now use this del and try to execute this program and understand the difference between the remove and delete. That is also homework for you guys to do this as a homework. Okay. Use the keyword delete and try to understand it. I already have shared the document. Again, I'm telling you, download the document, and yeah, everyone should do it. It's always good if you do the homework. I have given you a remove example as well. You try it out and understand how the remove is working and all. And yeah, P in my list, A in my list, not in my list. We have already seen it. Like in, not in, examples and all. We have already seen it. So go through those examples once. This is a for loop. Ignore the for loop. 49th slide, you can ignore it for now. Write down the numbers of the slides which you are going to ignore. 49th slide, you can ignore it for now. And when we start the conditional statements and the for loops and all sequence conditional statements and all, then at that time again we'll come back and I'll tell you what's the exact thing happening here and all. Okay. Okay. So this I have given using list elements in a math expression. I have just given this example, guys. Just try it out, but not now. Again, we'll come back again since we are using function here. Don't ignore this slide as well, 50 and 51. So when we start functions for loops and all, now again we'll come back and I'll teach you this. Okay. Till then, ignore these slides also, 50 and 51. Please write it down. What are the slides you need to ignore? Ignore them as well. Okay. And here again, I have given so many examples. Like try this out, guys. Okay. So the range element, what happens if you cross into 5 times if you do it? What happens to the list? Everything. The same thing. You just concatenation here. So try to understand what's happening exactly in the concatenation process and all. Yeah, but you need to complete the homework. Like you need to complete these slides. Okay, remember. Concatenating again. You can. I already told you this. You can just give it a try. It's very easy on. This is the slice operation. Slice operation we have already discussed. Starting index and ending index is omitted. Maybe omitted in the Python. And yeah. So because of that omission, I've omitted value and all. The excluded part will be done at the last in Python. I mean, other programming language R and all, the excluded part is not there. Directly it takes for whatever number you give it, it takes it. So try this also. Try this as well. You'll. It's very easy only. What slide we are? plus. Okay, good. Yeah, try these examples as well. Everything you can do it. I mean, this just for the practice. I've given these many examples. You do it. Do all these examples so that you'll be very familiar with the data types. Okay, go with these examples as the same slicing operation. Invalid indexes do not cause slicing operation to raise an exception. Okay, in Python, if you're not following the syntax, not only in Python, in any other programming language, like if you're not following the syntax of the programming language, it raises an exception. That means it throws that error, right? So here, invalid indexes do not cause, like invalid indexes, like yesterday we have seen, like in the previous sessions, like 1:2. There are only 5 number of items present in the list. Still, we managed to use the slicing operator till 1:10. Still, we didn't find any error there. So how many elements are there till it can manage? That many it gives actually. If the end index specifies a position beyond the end of the list, that's what we have done. I'll show you one more time. Yeah, we use 1, 2, 3. So if I want to use slicing operation here, a of like 0:20, it doesn't throw you any error. So it takes till 0, 1, 2, and the remaining everything is left empty. So it removes all the empty parts and it gives you only the part where it has a true value. Okay, that's what here I have defined. If the end index specifies a location beyond the end of the list, Python will use the length of the list instead. Yeah. So if you have mentioned beyond it, it uses the length of the list instead. Okay. If the start index specifies a position before the beginning of the list, Python will use 0 instead. Same thing. Like if you are using negative indexing and you're going far away in the negative indexing as well, it starts with 0. If the start index is greater than the end index, the slicing expression will return an empty list. Okay, let's see what happens. What is that empty list? A of, we'll use 4:2. See, it returns an empty list here. That means there are only 0, 1, 2. There are only 3 index positions here. If I use 4 and if I am using the colon symbol, it returns empty list. Okay, it considers like the other values, everything, each and every value, whatever we are searching for are empty, and it throws you that empty list here. Good. Yeah, so ignore this slide as well because this has included a separate topic called functions, which we have not discussed. So ignore that as well. Ignore this slide 60, 61. Yeah, list methods are useful built-in functions. A method is a function that takes a class instance as its first parameter. Yeah, see, so classes and objects, we have not started it, but remember that methods, the methods which we have already seen, like append method, remove method, delete, and there's so many methods out there inside the list. We have used them. Let's understand the concept of methods. When we start the oops concept and all, we will only create our own methods, and you will understand how the methods are created in the backend and how those methods are being used in another file. I'll show you that. Okay, here I have given few methods actually. Okay, append adds item to the end of the list. Yeah, that's what we have discussed. Index returns the index of the first element whose value is equal to item. Yeah, it returns the index, like index position. We haven't seen this, but yeah, try to do this as well, guys. So it returns the index position. The more methods you do it, the more homework you do it, that much better you'll become. Yeah. So insert you already seen it. Insert items into the list at the specified index. Yeah, you have already seen it. You go through this. Okay, go through these paragraphs. The same thing only. Whatever we have discussed now, those only will be there. Okay. And what is the slide number? Yeah. Okay. Sort we haven't seen it, so we'll use sort. We'll try to understand how the sorting thing works. So sort is something where it arranges the entire elements in a particular order. It might be ascending or descending. It arranges that in an order actually. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is my list now. So if I want to sort that list, like arrange the order in a descending way, I'll use a.sort, the method, whatever it is. So if I print a, see, it got sorted out, and it's done in the ascending order. Your homework is how to use sort method to arrange the elements present in the list inside in a descending order. That is your homework. Please write it down. So your homework is, so how to make the order inside a present in a list in descending order by using the sort method. That's your homework. Clear? I hope everything is
Yes,
clear,
sir.
guys. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And try to use this reverse is the order of the elements. You use this, it's very easy only. So here I have given few more examples, like by using extend and all, insert and all. You just try it out. And one more thing, yeah, so there's another method called count. Okay, for example, if the characters are repeating, I mean the elements are repeating, for example. Okay, so you want to know how many ones are present inside that list. At the time now, use a of count, and what is the value that you want to count? One. See, eight ones are there inside this list. By using this count method now, you can identify how many items, that one item is present inside that list, the count. Okay, you can use that as well. You just try it out, guys. Try these examples, you'll get it. And yeah, try these examples as well. Remove, delete, yeah, everything you can do. Yeah, forget about this exception. I'll tell you when the time comes. Okay, ignore this slide as well. 69th slide. Okay, everything 69, 70, 71, 72, 73. Yeah, remove it. And yeah, here there's so many other examples like reverse, sort and all. Try to do it and ignore this slide as well. Write down the slide numbers, guys. 75, ignore it because it includes a function here. Even 76 also, 77 as well. Even this, it includes for loop, so ignore 78. And yeah, even this 80, 79, 80, 81. Okay. Okay, we'll see this two-dimensional list actually. It's very simple. Okay, so two-dimensional lists are something where you include a list inside a list and all. Okay, then that will be done. I'll show you. Okay, so see, till now we have seen single-dimensional lists and all, right? So now what we'll do is we are including list inside a list. That's it. Like, so this is a list inside a list now. What happens? Okay, so if I print A, you'll get it. What happens if I want the value 5? Like how to do it? So in order to get the value 5, first I need to identify the index position of this list. So for the first list, the index position is 0. For the second list, the index position is 1. Same like the strings and numericals. No? In the same way, indexing is done for the lists which are present inside a list as well. So I'll use A of 1 here. So this is single dimension. If I want 5, what is the index position for this 5? Again 1. 1 of 1. If I give it like this, I'll get the value 5. So that's how, like, yeah, the two-dimensional lists are done, and that's how you can access the elements by using this kind of syntax. Like use the first index is done to identify the list, and the second index is for the identifying the value present inside a list. Remember that. So you go through this. No need to go through this example. It includes the function again. No, not required this as well because it involves for loop. Just understand the concept. That's it. Yeah, I guess that's it. So you maximum ignore the functions and the for loops there. Remaining all you can work it out. Okay, yeah. So that's it for today, guys. Like complete the homework of strings and lists. Since I haven't shared the document on Saturday, so I've shared it now. So complete the homework for strings and lists. I'll stop recording the session, and if you have any doubts, you can ask me. Yeah. Anyone till now in today's session? If you have any doubts, you can ask me or complete the homework. And yeah, so we'll again catch up tomorrow. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank